I apologize in advance for this video. It is my first video, so it's going to sound a little weird, it's going to sound a little boring, a little monotone, but I'm starting to loosen up. This is recorded after the whole information portion. So you can tell inside the information portion, the big chunk of this video, that I'm still quite nervous. I've got stage fright, I guess. Even though there's no stage, you still feel that nervousness. But if I were to go and re-record it, then I would still not be satisfied. I still wouldn't be done, and it would take me forever to get a video out. So I figured I'll just rip off the band-aid and throw this video out. So here you guys go. So in order to start fresh, we need to tear apart the old theory. The old theory of Mew and Ditto, where Ditto is the failed clone. If you take a look in Red and Blue on Cinnabar Island, you can go into the old abandoned mansion. And in there you can find the journal entries that state that Mew actually gave birth to Mewtwo, which means that Mewtwo is not a clone. So if there is no cloning of Mewtwo, there is no failure of the cloning. But yet in Red and Blue, Ditto still exists. So therefore, Ditto is not a failed clone of Mewtwo. But I understand where people are coming from. Yes, today he is a clone, but that is all explained pretty quickly through Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire in the Delta Emerald portion of the storyline, where they state that different dimensions is actually a thing in Pokemon. So yes, Mewtwo is a clone, and yes, Mewtwo was birthed naturally, but in two different dimensions. We have two different backgrounds for Mewtwo. But what the important thing is when Mewtwo was born naturally, we still had Dittos in the game, catchable inside the Cerulean Cave. So if Ditto is not a failed clone of Mew, then what exactly is Ditto? If you take a look into our world, we can find something very similar to him. In the real world, we have amoebas, which are single-celled organisms, and it is said that we all came essentially from single-celled organisms. That's how life started, and through the research of amoebas, I found an interesting Wikipedia page. And the very first sentence for amoebas, after all of the pronunciation mumbo jumbo, is an amoeba is a type of cell or a unicellular organism which has the ability to alter its shape, primarily by extending and retracting pseudopods, which if you don't know what a pseudopod is, it's a temporary limb. Like I grow an extra set of arms just to help myself out around the house or something, and then after I'm done with them, they retract back into my body, which is something that Ditto does. Ditto is just a blob, so whenever it has arms or legs, when it turns into a Pokemon, those are considered pseudopods, okay? So then it goes on to say, amoebas do not form a single taxonomic group. Instead, they are found in every major lineage of organisms. Amoebas occur not only among the protozoa, but also in fungi, algae, and animals. They are a part of every single living thing, just like this theory that I posed to you. Now, with further research, I was curious as to what the habitats are for an amoeba. And through some digging, I finally found a descriptive habitat for amoebas. It says, amoebas are often found in relatively clean ponds with highly oxygenated fresh water. It is found in large food-webbed ecosystems that contain many algae and plants. Due to its adversity to light, it is usually found in refuge under anything that provides shade or dwells near the bottom of ponds. This organism needs a moist environment to survive and also be found with organic decaying vegetation that has been festering in pond water. Now there are many different categories of amoebas. So what kind is Ditto? That I'm not sure about, not 100%. But there are Proteus amoebas, which are specimens that thrive in fresh water. And unlike other species of amoeba, they may inhabit human body. And that's a point that's going to come up in a different video. A video that I think you guys might be interested in, which is what exactly is Mewtwo? How was he created? And in the original Red and Blue, Mewtwo's background might have been way too dark for them to continue on with, which is why his background was changed to him being a clone in the first place. Okay, so to get back on track, let's take a look at Cerulean Cave, which is where you find Ditto. All of these maps show what Cerulean Cave's different stages look like. And with all these maps, you can see that the majority of Cerulean Cave is made out of water. You gotta swim here, there, and everywhere just to get to the bottom portion, which is where you find Ditto, which is where you find Mewtwo. Now, whether or not this is clean water is pretty self-explanatory. If you look at the newest games of Kanto, which is Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, you can see that there are crystals that form in this cave. These crystals are bright white glowing color. These crystals look pure. In order to get color like this, it'd have to be a pretty clear, untainted crystal. And of course, it goes without saying, but Cerulean Cave is a cave. It is away from the sun. So all this together, Cerulean Cave is a perfect place to find an amoeba. And it just so happens this is where you find Ditto. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you liked the information that I presented to you. If you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. I know this is a little short, and that's okay. This is my first video. Also, a lot of this stuff has already been covered by my man Hoops. I just wanted to go a little bit more into detail with what my theory is. And in order to explain everything that is included in my theory, which is pretty much everything that's unexplainable through Pokemon itself, I have to split this up into many different videos. And of course, the first one's going to be very short because, like I said, it's my first video. I don't exactly know what I'm doing right now. So I've got 3 different ideas for my next video. I'm going to hit on all of them eventually, but if one of these categories sounds more interesting to you than the others, leave a comment down below and let me know which one is interesting for you. First off, I've got Pokeballs and Pokemon Evolution. I'm grouping those two together because the explanation for those two is very, very similar. Also, I've got Where Do Pokemon Come From as option 2, and option 3 is the true origins of Mewtwo. But I must warn you, that one gets pretty dark. Which one seems more interesting to you? Let me know in the comments down below, and I might do that one first. Again, thank you all for watching. See you later. One more shout out to Hoops. Thank you so much for your cover on my theory. You did such a great job, and I can't wait to see you again in your next video.